can win 41-38. Warren Moon shats the bed. The whole run and shoot offense shats the bed, which I think is one of the big reasons why there is so many comebacks nowadays, because of the spread offense. People can't run the ball, jam it down the throat, other team's throat, 4-minute offense, run of the clock anymore.
Probably. All I know is that was the worst experience of my life, and then I reread these words about stupid Cleveland beating stupid Tennessee. And, okay, yeah, good for me. Tennessee got beat. Well, everyone's beating Tennessee. Tennessee stinks.
Well, Claire, that was 1993, though, so you're only like 8, so it can't be like that big of a memory for you.
Right. It wasn't any big deal. Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm just getting confused on my decade count.
Brian Hoare is Frank Reich.
Oh. He did lead Cleveland to 26 unanswered points.
He did. Now, do you think Johnny, they would have won like 56-3 anyway, so there would have been no need for a comeback?
Probably. We'll never know if no one ever starts Johnny playing.
Oh, yeah. And we got to talk about the Skip Bayless tweet. I think he said something to the effect of the Texans would be 4-1 if they had Johnny Manziel, if they had ergo taken him with the number 1 overall pick, the Houston Texans. Now, what is your piece on this, since you're very close to both situations there?
I'm very close. Oh, to the Texans and the Johnny situation?
No, I meant Skip Bayless.
Oh, no, I'm not close to Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
That's, neither here nor there. But pretty much, yeah. He needs to shut his dirty mouth and quit, because he doesn't know anything. That's the thing. He makes these incendiary comments and states things as if they're fact when they're total speculation and hyperbole and
That's
stupidity.
all sports is.
Oh, he is the mastermind.
That is all sports is.
That's not. And the thing, I pretty much will shut someone out if they say a bunch of things that are just total speculation and they drown everybody out and they're wrong. Okay, I'm done with those guys for the most part pretty quickly. Skip Bayless is the worst.
Give some examples besides Skip Bayless.
Oh, good Lord. Well, his cohort, that's a good one. His cohort, though, I think is more logical than he is.
LeBron James will never win another title in Cleveland.
My good friend, my good pal, my good buddy, my good everybody is my friend.
LeBron James completes me.
Apparently.
Me and him take a bubble bath together every Friday night.
That's disturbing. That was a bit over the top.
With LeBron's receding hairline, just like mine.
Okay, now I'm freaking out a little bit.
All right, who are some other ones? Name drop. This is why you're on the show, Claire, because I want you to get you riled up and say something controversial.
Oh, I'm trying to think of people who get on my. I really blocked a lot of them out.
John McClain.
Heath Evans is awful. Oh my God, I can't even think of the things that he has said, but he looks like a cartoon character. That's something right there.
But he played the game.
And he has. I'm not one to talk. I'm really not. But his accent sounds so hillbilly. I'm sorry, it does.
Who, Heath Evans?
Yes. Yes. Have you not listened to him speak?
I have, but I don't think his accent
God.
is
Go listen
all that
to him.
wonky.
Go.
No, I have listened to him.
Maybe it's a Southern thing picking up on a Southern thing. He has just one of those country accents. I like to think I have a Southern accent, but not country. He's country. So Heath Evans gets on my nerves.
All right, well, just looking at all right, so he's born in West Palm Beach, Florida. Not really that rednecky. It's not the redneck part of Florida, right?
He sounds Southern.
He went to school in Auburn, though.
There you go. That must be it.
And then he played ball 3 years in New Orleans.
Right. So he's done his time in the far South. And Florida, much of it is South. And I understand he's born in West Palm Beach, which is not really the South. But, yeah, Florida's pretty Southern.
Well, who are you to talk about accents? You sound like a Cajun man.
I do not sound like Cajun man. Like I said, I know that I have an accent. I like to think it's more just a Southern accent than like a country accent. There's a difference. There is.
Two differences.
Well, I don't know. A Southern. accent.
I don't know.
I didn't say you make
Wash my truck.
You make it sound like
My ex-wife shot my dog with my unregistered AR-15.
See, I don't talk slowly like that.
She's a fast-talking Yankee.
That's slow talk.
All right, someone else who is a fast-talking Yankee is Tom Brady. And all this talk after the Patriots got their ass kicked on Monday Night Football, which I won in our pickup, by the way. And rumors of frustration with management. Maybe the dynasty is over. It's been over for a while, but that's neither here nor there. And everyone was piling on Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And the Patriot way has lost its way, but nah.
Well,
They came out on Sunday Night Football and waxed the Bengals 43-17, a complete ass-whooping. Brady, 23 of 35, 292, 2 touchdowns, and was just lights out yet again. And so Tom Brady isn't as terrible as advertised.
And I don't think that Tom Brady was ever terrible. I just think not a lot of people were taking into account how awful his offensive line had become without Logan Mankins there. And he did not have time. And Tom Brady likes his time. Because if he doesn't get time, Tom Brady will roll over and have a little sad time right there on the turf.
Exactly. The most annoying thing I can remember in football, well, and also I appreciate about Tom Brady, is just when he gets protection, just him sitting there, standing tall in the pocket, just bouncing back and forth between reads and progressions.
Right.
And then, killing you.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, he'll murder you if he gets time in the pocket. But if he doesn't get time in the pocket, Tom Brady gets a little petulant and a little diva-y and has an attitude that people pick up on, and that causes people to make fun of Tom Brady for being a little diva-y. So he brings it on himself. But that's not the point of my conversation right now.
I think it is a little noticeable that he has regressed a little bit, especially in the accuracy department, because we can point to his personnel, offensive line, trading Mankins away, which I thought was really stupid.
Yep.
But then also his weapons are an injured Gronk. Julian Edelman is number one receiver. Come on. The remnants of Danny Amendola, whose dad gets run over by golf carts. Brandon LaFell was their big free agent signing. Come on. Aaron Dobson can't even get on the active roster for that long. Kembrell Tompkins they just released. And, yeah, they do have a point, even though they won a Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowls with, like, Troy Brown and David Patton at wide receiver.
Right.
But,
well, and that's what Tom
It is
Brady.
kind of a combination. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying that, and that combination with Tom Brady at his 110% self and an awesome offensive line, that does things. That team could do things. But if you don't have the offensive line and Tom Brady at 110%, you only have 99% Tom Brady, it's not going to produce the way people expected. But then they brought back their 2 tight end sets this weekend, and that made a huge difference to have both a pretty healthy Gronk looking better and then Tim Wright coming in, and they got tons of yards that way.
You know where Tim Wright went to college?
Nowhere.
Rutgers, because Belichick buys every freaking Rutgers guy ever.
Oh.
Ever.
Interesting.
Ever.
Fair enough.
And, I think it is a combination of the Brady regression because offensive line, his receivers may not get separation all the time, but when they do occasionally, it just seems like Brady has been missing them. And I go all the way back to the last Patriots-Giants Super Bowl where if Brady completes that pass to Welker, they run out the clock, they win the Super Bowl. Yeah. But they just sure you could have said that Welker should have caught that ball, but Brady could have put that ball in a much better spot. He was completely wide open, and he's lost it. And also something that's flying under the radar, the regression of Drew Brees.
Yes, I had that on my list. What's going on with that?
What has happened?
I'm not exactly sure. I was going to discuss it with you. I mean, Brees had 3 turnovers this past game, including one of them was a pick 6, and then another was a turnover that basically led to a touchdown for Tampa Bay. So Brees and their defense in New Orleans are both struggling, and I'm just not sure exactly what's happening with Drew Brees right now. He has not had a strong season.
Well, they paid Jeremy Graham all that money. Marcus Colston, I think, has dropped off depreciably. And, they used to have all these fun young receivers like Robert Meacham, Lance Moore. I know the Meacham's back, but he's still a shell of himself. Brandon Cooks is a nice piece, except I don't think he's a number one receiver, which they're kind of relying on him to be now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny. I saw this up close and personal in the Vikings game, and like the first 2 drives, bang, bang, boom, touchdown, touchdown. And I was like, this is what Drew Brees and the Saints offense looks like at home. But then after that, the Vikings defense either stepped up or Brees settled back into regression Brees, because he did not look good for stretches of that game. And it was a lot closer than I thought that final score should have been.
Yeah, and it just feels like something is wrong here. What's going on with Drew Brees in 2014? I don't know. Is it just a lack of receivers, a lack of dynamic receivers, or is it him? That's my question. I need to know.
See, I don't know about that either, because Brees has always struck me as the kind of guy who's not afraid to throw it to the other team, as where he's not always safe. He will force the issue a little bit. He's kind of Favre-ish, like Diet Favre in that sort of way. But his offensive line is still solid. His receivers are still kind of But I feel like just some of his accuracy has gone a little bit, very similar to Brady.
Right.
And people do forget that Brees is in that late 30s. I think he's 36, somewhere in there. Like time frame where it's a lot closer to the end than the beginning.
Yeah, I'm just going back and looking at these statistics from the last 7 years, basically, over the first 5 games of the season. And he's now, he's 35 years old, yeah. And it's just sort of his completion percentage in the first 5 games of the season has steadily declined a little bit. And so, well, then again, no, 2014, his completion percentage is 69.5. So I don't know. It's he's not doing as bad as he had in the first 5 games of some other seasons, just according to that statistic alone. But it feels like something is off about him this year.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I would still take him as a quarterback, my team.
Right.
Even though I got Teddy.
Yeah, you have Teddy. Maybe.
Teddy.
Maybe. You might have Teddy. We don't know.
I am so excited because there has not been a single Vikings reference so far in this.
Do you not want there to be?
It just seems like so long ago.
That Thursday night.
And such a throwaway game. And I wasn't even upset because, with Christian Ponder, he is who we thought he was, and that was about it.
Oh, well, that's awfully disappointing.
Yeah, I do feel kind of bad, and we'll get to this segment right after we take a quick break. But when fans go too far in their giving it to players, but we'll talk about that when we come back. Claire versus Carlson show, BRB. we're coming back for another beautiful segment of the Clear versus Charleston